Hey guys, it's Melissa here from Reiki with Melissa. So I asked my guides what I should talk about today, and what I got clearly was talking about our intuition and how to tap into our intuition. And I know I've done some recordings on intuition before, but the message that I got is that there's still so many people who just don't trust their intuition. And they feel like they have to go get advice from family members and friends. And the problem is that the advice people give you, while it may be well-intentioned, isn't always the best advice for you, because you're the one that has to live your life and live your situation. So if you're constantly going to family and friends about your own life, and it's easy to do that because it does make us feel better to hear what other people have to say. And I'm not discounting it, and I'm not saying don't ever go to your friends and family. What I'm telling you is that when you get advice from someone, you still need to run it by your intuition and say, does this feel right for me? Or is this right for my family member? Or it sounds right, and so they're giving me this advice because they think they're being helpful, but really they're not, because they don't know what's best for my situation. The thing is, we all came to this world with a soul book and a journey that we are specifically supposed to be on. So when we're not listening to our intuition, we end up taking a lot of wrong turns. And don't get me wrong, I don't really believe that there are wrong turns. What I mean is this: we end up delaying something. Like we were supposed to either learn a lesson sooner or come to something sooner or achieve something sooner, and we delay the progress because we took a different path. It doesn't mean that it's wrong, but I don't know about you. I would much rather have a short trip somewhere than delay it by several hours because I kept taking wrong turns. That's just me. So tapping into your intuition and being able to trust it is going to help you get to where you're going faster, because you're not going to be taking wrong turns. You're going to be doing exactly what your soul already knows it was supposed to come here to do. And that's the thing. We already know what we're supposed to do, but we've forgotten it along the way. But that intuition knows exactly what our soul journey is supposed to look like. And if we would just listen to it and tap into it, we would make a lot less mistakes. So how do you perfect listening to your intuition? Really, it takes a lot of practice. For some people, I know some people will say, oh, well, so-and-so just seems to have a natural ability. We all have the ability. It's just when you think about your situations growing up, some people are raised in families where they tell you not to meditate, or they might call somebody who is in touch with their spiritual side a hippie or something like that, and make fun of them or tell them that they're annoying, obnoxious, they shouldn't do those things. So naturally, if you grew up in a household like that, or where you were in a super religious household and there was one way to think about spirituality, you're going to be more closed off to this kind of thing. And that just goes without saying. That would make sense that would be the case. However, if you're in a home where meditation was fostered and open-mindedness and being able to practice spirituality in the way that you felt comfortable practicing it, you're likely to be more open. And yes, some people tend to have more natural ability, but it's like being athletic. We could all play sports, and we can get better at sports by practicing. But some people just naturally excel faster and are stronger or better than other people. It doesn't mean that the other people aren't capable. It just means that person was born with more of a natural athletic ability. And there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm telling you that because you have the ability to do this. And it's just like anything else. If you weren't born with a natural ability, so to speak, which everyone is born with that, we just forget about it. And if it's something you haven't done, you're just going to have to practice. And practice makes perfect. And that's really all it is. It's like a muscle. You just have to practice it. So why is it important that you trust your intuition? Who cares? What's it all about? Well, as I said before, your soul came here but you've already had soul contracts written with other people to come here and experience certain things. Your family members, your friends, co-workers. We've all written contracts to work together here and to learn certain lessons. If you are in tune with your intuition, it's easier to pick up on what your lesson is or what you should be doing in any given circumstance. And when you come to a crossroads in life where you have to make a choice and you're not really sure, or you meet a new person and you're not really sure how you feel about that person, your intuition tends to take over. We have a natural physical reaction to things in our body when, let's say, you meet someone and you don't really feel like they're a great person, that something tells you, beware of this person. The arms, like your arm hair might stand up on end when you meet them, or you might feel tingling all over. There's some kind of physical reaction that your body has. Maybe you feel sick to your stomach. There's something that your body does to show you that, hey, this probably isn't a good person to be around. And there are many reasons that could be. You may have written a soul agreement or contract with this person that something bad was going to happen, or something, that you really don't want to happen. And your intuition picks up on that even when you don't. So it's important that we really are in touch with it in order to get the most out of life. And if you're a business owner, for example, when you get in touch with your intuition, you can tap into a lot of things. Like you can tap into what your clients need, or what would be the best marketing strategy for you. There's a lot of things that intuition can do. One of the things that you can do to really, really tap into your intuition is to meditate. And I know when I say that, some people will say, ugh, but I'm not good at meditating. I know that whenever I first started meditating, my mind was like that of a child with ADD. Like I would think about everything under the sun besides quieting my mind. And it was really hard for me to do. I had to get into that mode of just quieting everything, which is not easy, especially if you're a busy person. So for me, meditating, when I first started doing it, was more of a chore than it was something I enjoyed doing. However, now I thoroughly enjoy meditation because I can totally let go. I don't have constant thoughts popping through my head. But it took a practice. It took a while for that to really happen. We talked about the sitting in stillness. That is an exercise that you can do. But what I thought I would do today is to give you a guided meditation for leaning on your intuition, for opening up to your intuition, and also opening up your third eye a little bit. And at the end of that guided meditation, then I'm going to do a little practice with you to see if you can tap into that intuition. So if this is something that you're listening to this while you drive, I know that's definitely what I do. Whenever I'm driving, I have an hour drive to work, and from work, I listen to meditations. So if you're driving, you're not going to be able to do this, but you can listen along if you want and then come back to this and do it later. Or if you need to get comfortable because you're listening to this but you want to do this meditation, go ahead and pause this recording, and then you can come back to it whenever you get ready. So you want to be in a comfortable sitting position with your feet on the floor. So until you can get into that position, pause this and then come back. All right, so if you guys are ready, we're going to go ahead and get started. So I want you to start by sitting comfortably with your back against the chair and your feet firmly on the floor. Make sure that your area is free from distractions. And I just want you to take a few deep cleansing breaths. I want you to breathe in deeply. And as you breathe out, let go of any problems, any worries, any stress. Just let it go. And again, breathe in deeply. And as you breathe out, let go of any worries, any problems, any stress. Just let it go. And I just want you to continue taking a few deep breaths. And as you're exhaling, letting go of anything that's causing you any worries right now. Feeling your shoulders and your arms and your back noticeably getting more relaxed. And I want you to imagine that just above your head is a beautiful white light. And we call in God, angels, ascended masters, spirit guides, departed loved ones, all beings to come in to protect us and to help us get everything we need here today. And now that white light is going to slowly drape over your entire body. Imagine it going down and filling your entire body. And as it does, it's taking away any worries, any stress, any problems. Now I want you to be totally relaxed. And I want you to bring your focus to your third eye. Your third eye is in between your two eyes, in the middle of your forehead. This is where we connect to our intuition. And the third eye chakra is a purple color. So I want you to imagine that there's a beautiful purple light in the center of your eyes where your third eye would be. And as you breathe in, the light becomes brighter. And as you breathe out, it gets bigger. And I want you to continue focusing on this purple light, drawing your attention to it. And each breath in you take, that light gets brighter. And each breath out you take, that light grows bigger. You can see and feel the energy moving smoothly and flowing freely through this chakra. Continue breathing in, watching the light grow brighter and brighter, and breathing out and watching it grow bigger and bigger. And now Archangel Michael is coming in. He's a beautiful archangel, over 6 feet tall. He carries with him his white sword of healing light. And Archangel Michael is going to brush his sword over your third eye, opening it as he does. And I want you to pay attention and notice the eye opening as he moves his sword over it. Notice your third eye. Notice the color, the shape. Notice everything about it, how it looks. And I want you to notice that bright purple light getting brighter and brighter. And now you can sit in this exercise, in this meditation, as long as you like, until you feel like your third eye has started to open. If you need to pause this video, you can. If you're ready, take a few deep breaths in. We're going to ask that bright light come back down through us one more time, down from the top of your head. As it's moving down through you, it is raising your energy vibration, and it is clearing you of anything that is not serving you. And we're going to ask God, our angels, guides, departed loved ones, ascended masters, to hold this space around our body so that this light is encompassing us almost like a bubble. None of our good energy is getting out, and nothing bad is penetrating that bubble. We're holding the space of pure white energy. And we're going to keep that energy around us as we go through the rest of our day. After taking a few more deep cleansing breaths, when you start to feel ready, feel your feet firmly on the ground once more. You can start to wiggle your fingers and toes, slowly coming back. And when you're totally ready, you can open your eyes. And note that sometimes we have to do those meditations more than once. As I said, it is like a muscle. Sometimes the first time you don't get anything, and then you do it again, and then something happens, and then you do it again, and more things start to happen. So it is possible to do this more than one time, and you may need to. But I thought that I would do a little exercise with you, just really quickly, to help you focus on that intuition. I want you to come up with 2 or 3 questions. Questions that you can get simple answers to. So the question might be, let's say you are thinking about applying for another job. So you might write the question, let's say you did apply for another job. Will I get the job that I applied for? So it'd be something simple that doesn't require a super long answer. You might want to know, what is the name of my soulmate? And write that down. But just simple questions, things that you would like answers to. What is the name of my guide? So take a moment to write down your questions. If you need to pause this podcast for a moment while you do, go ahead and do that. Once you've written your questions down, I want you to sit in stillness, take a deep breath, take a couple of deep breaths, focus on your question, and then the first thing that comes to you, write it down. In the first 3 seconds, this is your intuition. Anything beyond that becomes your ego. And you may not get anything the first time, that's okay. It's, again, something you need to keep practicing. You may want to do the meditation one more time. But what's the first thing that pops into your head? Some people experience it as a thought that pops into their head. That's how I receive. Some people hear a voice. Some people see things. Everyone's different. There's no right or wrong way. So again, take a deep breath, clear your mind, ask your second question. First thing in the first few seconds that pops up, that's your intuition. You can do this practice as many times as you want. You can do this meditation as many times as you want. But the message to me was very clear. We have got to start making more decisions based on our intuition rather than our intellect, because many times we are making the wrong decision. And we realize we made the wrong decision after it's too late. But until you start learning to use that intuition, when I think about the times that I didn't trust my intuition, there were times when in certain situations I knew what I should do, but I also knew that what I thought I should do was the harder thing to do. So I didn't do it. I went with what was easiest, not with what I knew I should do. And in those situations, I ended up making a huge mess for myself and making my life a lot more difficult than it had to be. And I don't want that to happen to you. And what I found is that the more I use my intuition, the easier things get, the more clear things become. So get into the habit of using that intuition. You can even, when you say your prayers at night, pray for guidance and pray that you see, hear, know what it is that you need to know. Oftentimes we get signs and we just don't see them. We ignore them because we don't realize that they're signs. So get in the habit of listening to that gut. And the reason we call it a gut feeling is because usually that's where most people feel it, is in the stomach. It doesn't have to be where you feel it. Some people feel things in their chest too. But feeling things from your gut is usually, we say that because that's where you'll feel it, is in your stomach. So I hope that this was helpful, and I hope that you will start listening to your intuition. I wanted to let you know that I added some new services to my website. Now I'm offering both 60-minute and 90-minute Reiki sessions and packages. I'm also going to be offering 3-card reading, which will be about a 30-minute reading. You can set one up with me. We can either talk about a specific topic. If you have specific questions that you want to ask and you need guidance on, we can talk about them. Or if you just want a general reading, we can just do a general spread. And then I also have a full card reading, which is an hour. We will meet online through Zoom. Again, you can ask about specific topics in your life, or we can just get a general reading wherever you need more clarity. We will meet online through Zoom, and the prices are listed there online, so check those out. I'm offering one-on-one coaching if you'd like to work with me. If you feel like you're stuck in your life and you're not really sure where to go, you want a new career but you're not really sure what your life purpose is, or you feel stuck in your romantic relationships or your personal relationships, I'm here to help you. I've been through a lot in my life, and I've gone through a lot of coaching and counseling myself, and was a psych major in school, so I have a lot of experience and can help you, and I would love to help you. You can book one session with me just to see where it goes, or you can book a package with me. It's all whatever you need, what you need to help you live your best life possible. That's all on my website. My information is there too about the coaching packages. And I still have a Purposeful Pilgrimage for sale. Check that out. As always, thank you guys for listening. If you know people who could use this podcast that would help them, please share it. Please leave stars, comments, and feedback. I appreciate all of that. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sending you so much healing, love, and light. And we'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye.